How's it going, YouTube? I trust you all well. Tony Brown here again with another Akai MPC live stream. And in this live stream, I plan to make a banger. It's the 1st of May 2020. I haven't made a beat for about 4 days. So I've got some energies pent up inside of me. And I'm hoping to let it all out in this beat today. Also, I'm focusing on my submission for the Pad Bank challenge. So this is the first week where I actually won the beat battle, the producer battle in the Pad Bank. I've been running that group for about 2 years and I've never won a challenge yet. So this week I won it's the first time I've won a challenge. So I'm celebrating that as well. So I plan to make a banger. I haven't started anything yet. I haven't got anything in mind. All I've got is a raw drum break. Very raw drums. So I plan to chop them up and then I'll start playing with the sample. So let's just get into it. I also want to say I had a comment on one of my videos, or was it in the Facebook group? Basically, I saw a comment the other day and it was saying this person was saying they see a lot of people sharing their process, their sampling process, etc. But the drums are already prepared or laid. They want to see, how the person lays their drums. So I thought, you know what? I got a raw drum break here. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to chop it up and go through my process. So a quick warning, this process may be longer than usual because usually by the time I start streaming, I've already chopped up my drums and got them ready to go. Or I use pre-chopped drums, where in this process or in this live stream, I'm going to be chopping up this break from scratch. So it might take longer than the usual process, but I trust you enjoy it. Give me a shout out in the comments. Let me know where you're viewing from, and let's do it. All right, let's go, man. Let's chop this thing up. The first thing I want to do is I want to time stretch it. So this drum pattern is currently like 160. It's quite fast. Actually, it's double time, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually like 82. So I want to get that down to, it's probably about 85 to be honest. Let's have a look. It's actually 80. So, and that's another thing as well. So I've had people asking, how do you find the tempo of a sample? How do you find the tempo of a drum break? Use your tap tempo. So on your MPC, if you're using an MPC, there's a tap tempo button. Just use that. Just play the break. 2, 3, 4. I'm tapping 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using my tap tempo button, and that's just showing me now this is 80 BPM. Or roundabout. So it gives you an idea of how fast or the tempo of the sample or the break you're working with. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's another thing as well today. Like usually when I'm doing these sessions, I'm zoned out. Like I'm literally like head down, I'm making the beat. In this session, I'm going to try to be a bit more, to make it more of a tutorial. Yeah. If I zone out, forgive me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to time stretch this because I want to get it down to probably about between 70 and 75. That's the tempo I'm kind of messing with at the moment. And the sample, I've already heard the sample. And I got an idea. I kind of want to make a banger. Big up Janos. What you saying, my brother? I trust you well. I'm planning on making like something quite hard. So I'll probably go, let's say 72. Let's give it that real kind of head nod. I mean, to be honest, with a break like this, the tempo doesn't matter because I'm going to chop it up into segments anyway and replay it. But I do like to match the tempo as close as possible. I'm also going to pitch shift it, so I'm going to take the pitch down. I'm going to take it down about 3 points. Which I don't really like, to be honest. That's the problem. Sometimes when you process the sample too much, it reduces the quality. I mean, this is a WAV file, so it's not even like it's an MP3 or anything. It is a WAV file. But if I time stretch it and pitch it, it does lose some quality. So you know what? I'm going to chop it up as it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to chop. And I'm going to go to threshold. So what the threshold will do, if I just click that, it's basically put a chop at every high point in the break. You can see there, it's chopped it up automatically. Now, what I would have done previously, if I just show you this, I would have gone to manual. If I clear all these, this is what I would have done previously. I would have gone like this. I would have chopped it up manually. I would have gone. So you can see there, I've manually laid the chops. So by hitting the pads, it puts a chop every time I hit the pad. And you can see it's quite, yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of hit the right spots. Boom, chop, 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 chop. Obviously, I'll tighten those up. But by using threshold, again, if I clear all these, by using threshold, it does it automatically, so it's a lot quicker. You do sometimes have to go through and tighten it up, but you have to do that anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? So before I jump into this, what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to tidy up the start point. If you look there, there's quite a gap there. I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to zone in and just go to discard, get rid of that. So our start point is solid. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Nice solid start point. So I'm going to go back to chop. I'm going to do threshold. Also, just a quick tip. What I did do before I dragged this drum break into the MPC, I did do a little bit of processing in Audacity. So what I've done, I dragged it into Audacity, and all I've done was leveled it out. So basically normalized it and then used what they call a leveler. It's a leveler tool. And all it does, it pulls some of the lower parts, makes them a little bit louder. So you can see there the hats in the original sample, if you would have saw the WAV file, the hats were quite low, where now they've kind of got a bit of volume on them. And I just do that so you get a nice strong sound. So if you listen there, previously that was quite low in the mix, so I never had a strong sound there. So what I'm going to do with this, you can see there on pad 3, I'm going to leave that as it is, and then pad 13, yeah, I'll leave that as it is as well. I want that like that. Let's have a look at 12. See 12, I might want to separate those two sounds. So I want that to start about there, and I think I want to separate the hat. Kind of happy with those chops as they are. I don't really need to do too much. What's that one? There's 27, so that's yeah, so those little rolls, I'm happy to leave those as they are. I'm tempted to chop them and separate them, but as it is, I'll use it as it is. So you can hear there, look. Probably put them two back together. Okay, yeah, I'll put those back together. And then the chop before that one, I just need to move that start point. I want it just about there. So this, like I said, this is kind of the what's it called? Meticulous part of it. The part that no one likes, where you got to go through and tighten up all these samples. But, you know, I mean, if you want it to sound good, you gotta put the work in. I might leave that like that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that like that. So I'm gonna get rid of that break there. So drop it in a program. So I've got that now. I've got all those chops. What I'm going to do, create a new program. Boom. Do it. And then I've now got that as a program here. I'm going to drag that to my pads. And there we go. I've got my break now on my pads. So I'm playing the same break, but they're all individual drum sounds on the pads. Alright, so I'm looking, like I said, probably around 72 as a start point. We'll go with 72. Let's put the metronome on. Now, I'm probably going to mess up a few times because all I'm going to do basically is just put the metronome on, hit play, and just kind of see where I want to go with this. And already I can see I've only got one kick. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my hats down first. So let's do this. Do I want to use... Yeah, let's do this. Alright, so again, a quick tip. Just going into tutorial mode here. You can hear there, so because I've got the hats playing, it's chopping off the tail of the snare when I hit the snare, and that's because I've got my program in mono. So you can see here the polyphony of the program, the master program, is in mono. That means it's only playing, it will only ever play one sound at a time. If I change that to poly, you'll hear now, it will play any sound, anytime. It's not limited. So I prefer that hat to that one that's been chopped. So let's go to a new track. Actually, let's name that track. Before we even start, let's do things properly. Let's name the track Hats. So we've labeled that track, and we're going to go to the next one. Nothing wrong with this. This might change. This is just like a marker snare. Again, with this, you see with this, I just want to get as quick as possible. I want to get a vibe going. I'm not looking for perfection. that little roll in with the snare. Okay, we've got that. Now I know that kick drum is a bit dead, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to layer it. So I'm going to layer that right now. Before you start commenting saying, yo, that kick drum's dead, I'm going to layer it right now. So I'm going to go to my MPC library. Yeah, I'm going to go to drum content. I'm going to find a kick. Let's go to drum groups and let's go to kick. And I already know what kick I'm going to use. I've kind of got my go-to sounds, you know what I mean? You get to a point where you kind of know what works for you. And yeah, that works. So I'm going to hit shift and drag that to the kick pad. And what that will do, it will layer it for me. So you hear the difference now. It's playing both kicks at the same time. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to program and I'm going to use some decay to get rid of that spit at the end. I don't know if you can hear it at the end. There's like a little spit. So I want to get rid of that. And sometimes it's in the sample. So let me go to the sample. Yeah, it's here. Let me get rid of that. Chop. So I just chopped it by mistake. Get rid of all that. Go to trim. I want it to be short because I'm layering it. I don't want it to be too long. I just want a short kick. That should do fine. What I'm going to do is cut it. And it's still a little bit of spit at the end. I mean, what I could do if I wanted to, what I could do is zoom in right here just to get rid of that spit sound at the end, because it does cut off quite, you can see it kind of cuts off below that line there. What I could do is go to fade out and just zoom in, zoom right in here, go to fade out, boom, boom, and what it will do, you can see it's faded out the kick there, so it'll get rid of that spit at the end. So that works for me. So you can hear now it's playing the original kick from the break and it's also playing the layered kick. Actually, I don't like that kick. Yeah, man, no problem, man. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, brother. Just keep it simple. For now, I'm going to go with that. I don't really like it, but let's just go with it for now. timing is all off. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, delete everything, change my timing. Let's go with this again. 2, 3, 4. So Perns, which MPC did you get? Let me know. Alright, so we've got that basic, real basic drum pattern laid down. I'm not too excited about the drum pattern, to be honest, but for now it's a starting point. I want to get to chopping the sample. So so what you're saying is the snap. So if you want to snap to the grid, you just use this little magnet icon here. So if you turn it on and off, you can change it so it's kind of, the snap is bang on the grid, or you can make it relative so it's kind of slightly before, slightly after. I usually leave mine on absolute, you know, I mean, I'm a little bit rigid in that sense. And then I just play with the swing and the time control. So up here you can change your timing, and then you can also change your swing as well. So just mess about with these and find the setting that works for you. I ain't really got a fixed setting in that sense. You know, I mean, I'll leave this on, but there's times where I'll make a beat and I've got no quantize at all. I just make it freehand, and whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? And then as the beat goes on, I might tighten up a few things using the quantize and the swing. But there's no kind of hard and fast rules. But if you want to turn things on and off in terms of snapping to the grid, it's this little magnet icon here. So that's where you do that. Okay, let's go to the sample. Where's the sample? It is in Dropbox. That's an MP3. It is over here. So let's pull this up. Yeah, man. You go with the free hands, the non-quantize. Yeah, man. That's how you get a nice solid sound. What I'm going to do with this is... how's it going, Brian? I trust you well. Thanks for joining. I'm probably going to download this. How long is it? 2 minutes. I'm going to download it. And I'm going to open it up in Audacity and chop it. I only want the piece that I want. So you're probably not going to be able to see, Audacity probably won't come up on my screen. You'll probably only see the MPC, but you might be able to hear it. So I'm going to drag this into Audacity now. Boom, there we go. And I'm going to make it a mono track. I don't want stereo. So you should be able to hear this actually. Are you working? Yeah, man. That's good. That's good. You know, with this, I'm really probably just going to use these little short pieces here. Okay, you're doing some jingle work. Okay. When you're ready, man, just post a link. I'll check them out. All right, I'm probably not going to use all of this. If I do want to use it, I'll come back to it. But right now, I only want that first start point there. So I'm going to delete all of that. So this is what we've got so far. Let's get rid of that gap at the end. Again, sorry you can't see this on the screen. I haven't set it to show my Audacity screen. You can only see the MPC screen. But you get the idea. I'm working on a sample in Audacity with the plan of, once I've finished, dragging it into the MPC. Is it all up on YouTube, or do I need a different app? I'm not sure what you mean, man. Okay, yeah. No. You need a different app. OBS. Go to OBS, which is Open Broadcast. What's it called? Open Broadcast Software or something like that. But basically, just Google OBS, download it, and you're good to go. You can kind of set up your screen, set up your camera, all that kind of stuff, and you're good to go. And then it gives you like the option to stream. You can choose what platform you want to stream on, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's how's it going, Walt? Thanks for joining. Let me get this this sample where it needs to be. You know what, I need to create while I'm here. Forgive me. Like I said, this stream, is going to be a lot slower than my usual streams because I'm doing it more from scratch. Like usually I would have chopped up the sample, chopped up the break. I would have done all that before I even went live. Where with this, I kind of just wanted to start from scratch because I had some people saying they never see the whole process from scratch. So I literally started from nothing, just got the drum break, chopped it up, which you would have seen. I don't know what flip challenge this is. I think it's flip 166, I think. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. I'll change that later. Okay, so I'm saving that as a wave. Closing this. Do I want to save it? Not really. Then I'm going to go to my Finder. I'm going to go to that sample, which is in Music, Samples, and there it is. So I'm going to drag this now into the MPC. Now you should be able to see that now. So that should have dragged in there. All samples. There it is. Boom. Boom. There we go. So here we go. So, first things first, I think I need to time Stretchy. Let's just reduce the time of the sample. Let's take it down to about there. exactly what I'm gonna do, bro. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just finding the tone and the cadence first. I'm gonna chop this into like little segments. If you watch the channel, that's standard procedure, bro. Standard. So like these little pieces in here, all these little segments there. I'm getting all them, man. Laying them out on pads. I'm just getting the tone, the pitch, the tempo in that first. So don't watch that thing, brother. Don't watch that thing. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bang on. Yeah, man, no problem, man. When you're ready, can get rid of that. See, like them little ones. Love them. Get rid of that. Is that a free sample? Nah, this is, so basically this is a sample for a beat battle in my group that I run called the Pad Bank, and this is a sample for this week's challenge. So every week basically a new sample is posted, and then all the members of the group are free to take part in the beat battle. And this is a sample for this week. I want to chop that there. But I do use Splice, so like if I'm actually producing with the intention of using it commercially, I will avoid using samples like this. This is just for the battle. Just go to thepadbank.com. And then just apply to join. It's a good group, man. Yeah, yo, I'm ready to see you in there, bro. Trust me, yo. There's some beasts in that group. Trust me. There's some beasts in that group. It's a good group though, man. See, I love these shorts. Just go to thepadbank.com. Just go to Google, go to thepadbank.com, and that'll redirect you to join the group. So basically, I bought the domain, so I own that domain. So you haven't got to go to Facebook or spend your time searching around. So it's thepadbank.com. Right. Let's see what we can do with this. Yeah, man, no problem, man. No problem, Joanne. I appreciate you. Alright, so I need to chop this a little bit more. You see, like I say, man, you see this stage, when people listen to music, they really don't appreciate, they sometimes don't appreciate how much goes into making that track. Like, someone somewhere is sitting down, searching for these samples, chopping them up. You know what I mean, someone's got to do this, man. Naif, how's it going, my brother? Long time, man. I trust you well, man. I trust you well. The Pad Bank family's in the house. The MPC family's in the house. Nathan is family, you know what I mean? So it's good to see you, man. Right, let's get this program in here and see what we can do with it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've chopped it up. I've dropped it on the pads. I'm now going to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to go to program. I'm going to go to, it's already on all pads. What I usually like to do is go to the MPC here. Yeah, it's on Facebook. That's right. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Much love, man. Much love. How you keeping during this quarantine time? You've been making best use of the time. Here's a little secret as well. So you see now, like how I've chopped up these pads. Yeah, I've chopped up this sample and put them on pads. They're all very short now. Here's a little secret. I'm gonna change everything to note on. Yeah. So with note on, basically, you got to hold down the pad to make the sample run. Put a little release on it as well. Okay, then I'm gonna go to wave. Yeah, this is a little secret, and go to loop, and I'm gonna go to alt. So now when I hold it down, making some head boppers. How do I like the patched phrase feature? You know what? I never use it, you know. Honestly, I never use it. I just drop it, just chop it, drop it in a program, and that's me good. I'm good there. So now we've got that. We've got the drum pattern laid down. We've got our chops. It's about finding now a little something that works. Okay, you're sampling records. Yeah, man, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. If I had a turntable, I'd be doing the same thing. Said, Nate, you see, before I started this live stream, I said I'm making a banger tonight. You know, I'm making something hard. So I ain't finished with the drums yet. I just laid it down quickly so I can get started chopping up the sample. Program. Let's go to the mixer. And let's just put a little delay on it. Just so it's got a little bit more for real. No, it definitely needs a sub, man. It needs a whoop whoop. It needs some whoop whoop in there. You get me, Nave? So when it hits now, it's whoop whoop. That's what you want. Let's just put a little delay on this, just to give it a little bit of body at the end. Let's dampen that right down. There we go. And then a little bit of reverb as well. So basically I've got my mixer open over here. In this other monitor, I've got another monitor over here where I keep my mixer. So I'll put some delay on it, put a little reverb on there. There we go. Take that right down. We don't want too much reverb at all. I don't like a lot of reverb. I just like a little bit of you get me. Vince, how's it going, fam? I trust you well, man. Yo, the MPC family's in the house tonight, man. This is like a reunion. Shout out to everyone joining. I appreciate it, man. Big up. I agree with Nath. However, I would probably add a little bassline. Yo, bassline has to run. You see me? I come from the sound system era. You get me? Man used to play sound system where we used to carry 18-inch boxes into the dance. You get me? It took like 2 men to carry each box. That's the era I come from. So when I'm building a beat, I need some bottom end. We call it wassy. You get me? Where I come from, we call it wassy. It needs to be wassy. A little whoop whoop whoop. That's what you need. That's what you need, man. Yo, if you're a sound system man, yeah, if you're a former sound system man, give me some speaker boxes in the comments. I want to see some wassy speakers in the comments if you love a bass line. Yo, I remember sometimes, you know, we used to go to like a little club or a little, say, like a youth center or community center, and the room was probably like, I don't know, I don't know meters, but it was no bigger than the average living room. It was a small little community center room. Yeah, and this was like, we were probably like 16, 17. But we had a sound system. Yo, we would take like 4 bass bins in there, 2 in that corner, 2 in that corner, mids, tops, string it up. Yo, we used to shake that place. We'd shake the dust off the ceiling. You know what I mean? It was crazy. We used to like wassy down the place. So yeah, man. What was I doing? I was going to the compressor. You lot get me excited talking about sound system. So yeah, the other thing as well, you remember when you go to a dance, yeah, and the sound's playing, and they would use the kill switch and cut off the bass and just make it run, and then when the bass drops, they just drop the kill switch. That's what you want, man. For me, that's the era I come from. When you drop the bass line, Carnival, them days at Carnival, yo, when that bass line drops, dance is done. You used to just mash up the place. So yeah, I'm definitely a sub bass kind of guy. All right. Anyway, enough getting excited. Yeah, you know what? The only reason I'm using headphones is because it's late. You get me? And where I'm set up, my neighbour's house is like right there. I'm in the loft. Yeah, my bedroom's underneath here. So I'm conscious their bedroom's probably right there. And when I first got my monitors set up, I tested it and I thought it's not loud, but the bass carries, man. Like I can hear the bass carrying. Like it sounds where I'm sitting here, it sounds normal. When I walk to the back of the room and just go down the loft stairs, it's like there's a bass trap, and it sounds like there's a blues taking place. So I've got to be careful. He's come around a few times and complained, but it's cool still. You get me? We've reasoned about. You get me? Man's paying his mortgage. I'm paying my mortgage, so just cool, bro. You get me? Let's find the groove. Where do you want to go? Short for is 808s. Let me show you my little 808 folder around here. Yeah, so all that, don't worry, man. We just laying the foundation. You want to talk about 808s? Let me show you my So I've got this program here. Where is it? MPC drum content. Boom. Drum kits. Where is it? Drum groups. Is it drum groups? Here we go. All right. You saying 808s? I got them 40 sounds. You get me? Then I got the average standard ones. But this ain't 808 kind of beat still. I've got them banging ones. So like that. I could go with that. I can keep going. I can keep going. I can keep going. You get me? I've got a bag of 808s put down, ready to go. So don't get me started upon that, brother. Now you see what happened. You started some trouble. That's the one. Let's just get that down. Let's get it down. So basically, yes, you can. You can layer the 808s, of course. You can tune it, all that type of stuff. Yeah, you can do that. I'm gonna figure out this on stuff right now. Okay, do you think, man? You like that waltz? I ain't too sure yet, though. I'm not too sure. I might do that. I might. The first one long. Let's make the first one. I prefer that. So the problem with these challenges, yeah, is you really meant to just use the sample. Now I'm probably going to pull in maybe some synths or something, but you really meant to just use the sample. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge. You know what I need? Naif. You know what I need, Naif. Hold on. I need. beats lately, Nath? You get me? I've been playing more with, like before I was using individual drum sounds and trying to make my own patterns. Where now I'm playing more with the break beats and utilizing them rolls and a little live side sticks and that. Before we get too excited, I think we should save it. If you've seen my previous video where I made the whole beat and everything crashed and I lost it, I learned my lesson. That's not happening again. So let's drop it in here. Let's call this, what we're calling it, what we're calling it, what we're calling it, what we're calling it. Let's just call it Flip 166 for now, just so we've got it saved and we can rename it later. Alright, so we need some perks. Yes, Donnell. Family. Family's in here. Shout out to all my MPC family. Love you guys, man. Call that stamps. Let's go to a new program. Logic. I invested in Logic 2 weeks ago, and it's been a good investment, man. Definitely been a good investment. So good move. We just get in there, we get in there. Just building. be fun, man. Big up yourselves. If you haven't checked out the Padbank podcast, yo, I'm looking to do a regular podcast once a week. Yeah, episode 1's up already. That was the last video I done. I've already got 2 interviews lined up with producers. So make sure you stay tuned, stay locked in, hit the notifications, all the stuff that the YouTubers say. Do all that, yeah? Subscribe, notify, bell, all that YouTube talk. Do all that because I've got some interviews coming with some producers. You get me? And we're going to be talking about their process, their journey. I'm going to be like mining for information to share with my producer family so we can all improve. You get me? So make sure you check that out. The Padbank podcast. So where are we going next? Yeah, man, it's on the channel. It's on the channel. So basically, the same way I stream this, I'm streaming the podcast. So the video before this will be the episode of the podcast. And I'm also going to be putting it on all the platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all that. But at the moment, it's directly on YouTube. Right, do we need to do this? Also, if you know someone who would be a good guest to interview, if you know a producer, or even if you're a producer and you want to be interviewed on a Padbank podcast, hit me up, man. I'm not just looking for name brand successful producers. I just want people who are in the game, who are in the grind, who are doing their thing. You get me? As long as they're active, no matter what level they're at, as long as they're active, I want to talk to them. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure yet, not sure. That's the thing with using headphones. When it comes to bass like this, you can't really gauge it. You know, it's hard to gauge. Like to me, my headphones, the tone of the bass or the key of the bass sounds correct, but I know as soon as I take these headphones off and play it on my monitors, it's going to be off. So if it sounds off key to you, let me know. But it's deceiving. The headphones are deceiving. See, it's there, isn't it? In my headphones, that sounds right, but I suspect it's that one. So let me go down a notch. And the same with this. Let me grab all these. I think these need to go down as well. Let me grab those. Oh man, it started raining. Let's do this. see what I've done there? I pulled the rides in, but first thing I've done, I turned them all down. Then I added the MPC filter just to kind of make them a little bit dusky. I didn't want them too clean in the mix. Then I turned the pitch down, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some attack off, because I want them there, but I kind of want them hidden. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't really want them all up in the mix. They're more like just a hidden little bit of percussion. You get me? Like they're there, double it. So 8 bars now. Yes, Nate. So this is the question now. Do I cheat and use other external samples away from the sample, or do I try and find something else in the sample that can work? Because I know what I would do with this. And it's not really cheating still, because as long as like the core of the track is made from the sample. So in the sample challenge, the idea is use a sample. Do you get me? So the core of the track is made. You can hear directly. If you heard the original sample, you're going to hear them little short chops there. So I might put that in there. It needs a different frequency. It needs something different. Like we've got that sound, you get me? That sound's there. I feel like if I draw like anything else from this sample, it's gonna be too cluttered. It needs a different. Can I be honest with you? I'm not really feeling this beat, you know. I'm just being honest, I ain't really feeling it. Like, yeah, it's there, but most definitely. So yes, is the MPC Studio a good buy? For me, it's been good money invested. I can't complain. You know, obviously it's only a controller. You get what I'm saying? Without the computer, you can't do much with it. So other people are preferring the standalone editions, which I understand. But for me, it's been money well invested. You see that there? There's something about that sound. do it. So I've got this. It's saved. Yeah, we've got it. If we need to revert back to it, we can revert back to it. So I'm going to go to save project as. I'm going to call this part 2. Yeah. So we've got part 2 now. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm bloody talking about. Right, so let's create a new sequence. Right, so we're looking about 78. Let's do this. Let's do this for the culture. You get me? For the culture. Put it backside. Come on. Right, why is that not recording? What's going on? Something's cutting it out. Let's try again. Why, when I'm recording, it's not looping? Something ain't right here. Something's stopping it. You know, this MPC, I have to say, I don't know what it is, but recently it's been quite buggy. It has been quite buggy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut this down and restart it. Because if you look there, I hit play, yeah? And it didn't like it. Look. If I go here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quit it. Do I want to save? Yes. Quit. Relaunch it. Because sometimes it's a bit buggy. I don't know whether it's the latest update, I don't know, but I've noticed recently the system's been a little bit buggy. So let me just sort this out for you guys. Let me go to my window here. Boom, so you can see it again. Start from scratch. Oops, not that one. We don't want that. We want that. Okay, so we should be back now. Let's go to recent. Let's go to part 2. Okay. Let's move away from that sequence. We don't want that. Actually, you know what? I'm deleting a whole sequence. Sequence clear. Do you want to clear it? Yes. Go ahead. We don't want you. And then I'm going to drag back in the sample. Boom, there we go. And we were around 70, 78. I actually think I'm going to try it on 16 levels and see what we can do with it. Nah, it's a software. It's something to do with the software. I think. You know, I don't know what it is, but every now and then it just gets a bit buggy. I don't know what it is. So whether it's the sample, I don't know what it is, but every now and then I find it just gets a little bit buggy. And recently it's been doing it more than before. sometimes it might be other software that you've either got running or you've installed on your system that causes the clash. So just keep that in mind. But it's not buggy to the point where you can't make your beats. It's just sometimes there's certain little glitches. So right, let's keep the vibe going. Let's try and get this down just for the vibe. We ain't trying to make hits tonight. We're just capturing the vibe. Perfection right now, we're just capturing the vibe, so just know that's what we're doing. you saying, Saucy? See, straight away, I'm feeling this more than the first one. Straight away. And we haven't got to the drums yet. same sounds used last time. Same sounds. live bass. Let's just go up here quickly. Let's just see what's up here. Guitar, bass, bass. So I'm just in my bag right now over here. I'm looking for some acoustic bass. There we go. So I might sample a few little stabs. You get me? Not like that. I want acoustic. There we go. Acoustic. Not that. Let's just go to this. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Bit of a risk, but let's try it. Listen, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You get me? We've got to experiment, man. That's just how it goes. You want to break some ground, you've got to take some risks. You can't play it safe all the time. So I'm going to download this sample here, drag it over here. Let's just round off. Let's round this off to, so it's 79. I'm going to round it down to 78. All samples. Let's find a sample, which is okay. There it is. Let's make it mono. Delete the stereo version because we don't want a bass line in stereo, we want our bass line in mono. And then we're going to chop that sucker up. Before we do that, we're going to time stretch it. So we know it's the tempo we're working with is 78, this is 82. So let's do that. Let's tell this we want to go from 82. Not that it matters too much because we're going to chop it up anyway. And the difference is not that much, but I've got OCD, so. Threshold. There we go. this might not work. It might be out of key, but at least we've got a few bass notes to play with. Got a few notes here to play with. Ooh, got a slide there as well. We're going to put them on a program, so we're going to go to new program, boom, that's done, and we're going to override. We don't want this sub bass, so we're going to override that, and we're going to drag this into here, boom, and oh, why has it done that? We don't want to do that. We want the whole program. There we go. I dragged the sample by mistake. Alright, so we've got those chops in there. What I want to do is make them all note on rather than one shots. I want a bit more control over them. We're going to put some release on it. And then we're going to put some filter on it. I don't know why, but just to give it that MPC filter sound. Let's try it. I'm not sure, but let's try it. tidying up. Let me tidy it up. And I think it also needs filtering and just making a little bit more, like thumping a little bit more. Let me tidy this up. Can't complain. We've got 2 beats in one evening. You get what I'm saying? We're not thinking too hard about this. We're just getting it down. And we've got 2 beats made in one evening. So yeah, man. I would shop as one of my showcase beats. Probably not, but you know what I've noticed, yeah, and you've probably noticed the same as a producer. The beats that you think are the ones, when you showcase them to other people, it's the ones that you don't think are gonna work, or the ones that they're like, yo, that's the one right there, and you're like, I'm not too excited about that beat, but that's the one that usually gets some guessed. So it's another one in the catalogue, isn't it? That's how it goes. It's another one in the catalogue. Let's double it up. Let's make that what we're working with. That's what? Yeah. Hold on. Okay, 8 bars. Hold on. What's going on here? Where's my sequence going? Undo. Oh no, broke it, guys. I've lost the beat. Let's reload it. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's make it. That's always the case, isn't it? It's like the ones that you think, yo, this is the one, this is the banger, it gets overlooked. And then the one that you think, nah, this one's okay, people are like, yo, that's the one. It's crazy, man. You know what I'd say, Nath? I encourage you, yeah? I've recently started releasing my music on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes and all that. And I'm not going crazy. I'm not going all out. I'm not, trying to make the most polished product. What I'm doing, I'm just posting my beats. So I'll make a beat. Yes, I will spend some time arranging it, mixing it and making it sound, nice and balanced and as clean as possible, but I'm not going crazy. And I'm just uploading them to Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, all the platforms. I'm just uploading them. I encourage you to do the same. You will be surprised. Done with this. I'm done. It's time to show off now. It's time to showcase. Yeah, man. Yo, do it, man. Trust me. Just go to like either DistroKid, Ditto, any one of those. You basically pay $19 or £19 a year, and you can have unlimited uploads. And the reason why I'm doing it is because, number one, if somebody wants to hear my beats, rather than saying, oh yeah, I'll send you a Dropbox link, or I'll send you a link to my SoundCloud, it's like, yeah, man, go on Spotify or go on Apple Music, it's there. So straight away the perception is this guy's serious, because if he's on Spotify, if he's on Apple Music, he's releasing music, so the status is raised immediately. You have released your music. Do you get what I'm saying? Where a SoundCloud is like, anyone can do SoundCloud. Do you get what I'm saying? And then also, for every listen, obviously you're gonna get a little bit of kickback. Now, obviously, it's 0.0007 of a penny, but it's better than nothing. Do you get what I'm saying? They're there, they're published, they're out there. So I encourage you, man, go for it. Just put them out there. Let me play this. I like this beat. I like this beat very much. Let me play this, see what you think. I think I've got a little arrangement of this as well. Let's have a look. Yeah. What do you think of this, man? I've actually voiced this with someone. I've got two MCs who have made a song to this. Pretty good song, so it's going to be coming out soon. So keep your ears and your eyes peeled. You get the idea. And again, with that, like I said, recently I've been messing with breakbeats more. So previously I was more making my drum patterns with individual drum sounds. So the MPC stock sounds, other sounds I've just collected over the years. So I'd have like my hats, my snares, my rims, etc., my kicks. Where lately I've been messing more with breakbeats, and it's been a transition, man. Because you see, sometimes with the breakbeats, they don't sound as clean as the individual drum sounds, but they create a certain sound. Like your beats have a certain sound to them. Do you get what I'm saying? That kind of raw, dusty kind of sound. Get me? It's got that raw sound. But let me play this one. I like this one. Hold on. Let me see what you think of this. Have I got? All right, so I'm gonna have to do this kind of raw still. Like that, Dave? So again with this, it was literally just playing with the breakbeats and then just very short stab samples. So it's like that's it. That was it. I literally got like some little shorts. Actually, I started with the horns. I kind of went with that punks jump up to get beat down type flavor with the intro. I think it needed that. So again, I chopped up a live bass and just a very short little guitar. A muted guitar pluck. I thought, you know what, that's enough really. All it needs now is like some hip-hop chops. That's all it needs. So then I kind of done a variation of that. So I had that. I thought, you know what? Let's change it up. And I kind of done the chops as though I was scratching. Especially with this next one now. This one is literally like I was scratching. That's enough, man. So this kind of reminded me of you know, those kind of Mos Def, Talib Kweli type beats. This reminded me of that. That proper rap, that rappity rap type stuff, you get me? Just vibing on it, just flowing, showing off. Not really talking about anything too serious, just kind of showing off lyrically. Styling. Get me, Dave. Yeah, man. Back to the intro. So you get the idea with that one. I want to play this one, but I don't know what it is. So again, this is a lucky dip. Let's see what's going on here. If it's whack, then beat on my head. Alright, it's taking long to load. Why? That's one thing I like about breaks, you know. Okay, let's see what this is. I have no idea what this beat is. It's 16 bars. It's got some stuff going on in it. Let's just hear it, innit? say with this is I haven't spent any time mixing it because I exported it to Logic, so I just wanted all the levels to be quite high. But that guitar riff, that one there, if I pull that down, you like it, Nave? Funk, you get me? The idea with this one. Yeah, man. You know the flavor, Nave. You don't know, my brother. And you'll notice as well, Nathan, I've slowed down dramatically. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in the 70s now, where before I was more like early 90s, 80s in terms of the tempo, the BPM, where I've kind of just slowed it down. See what this one's saying. No, that's not the one. I've got a few that I've made recently that are kind of that slow pace, slow tempo, kind of 71 to 75 type tempo, using breakbeats as well. with this, it was more about the soundscape. I kind of started with just a soundscape. You know what I mean? It wasn't really about a melody or, a kind of a. What I would usually do, this was more just a soundscape. Even the piano was an afterthought. It was just this at the time. And what I was kind of thinking about was, those James Bond, those old kind of the early James Bond movies where it's like he's looking to sneak up on someone or is about to sneak into the bad guy's lair. You know what I mean? And he takes out the security guard at the front gate, just breaks his neck. That's kind of what I was thinking about. That kind of film scene. Makes his way up the stairs. Sees two other security guards. You know what I mean? He ain't pulled out his gun yet. He's kind of just all hands, cracking necks and that. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, man. That's the one. With this, I haven't balanced it out because I exported it to Logic to mix it down and that, and to arrange it. So kind of my workflow at the moment. This is my workflow at the moment. It's build the raw beat in the MPC. So probably get like a 16 or 32 bar sequence and a few variations within that. Once I've got that, I just export all the stems into Logic and do my arrangement there, and then do a mix there. And my sound, I'm definitely I'm happier with my sound using that workflow than I was when I was mixing here in the MPC. So yeah, man, that's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing right about now. So I appreciate your time, your engagement. Shout out to my MPC family. Again, remember the Padbank podcast. I'm looking at doing weekly episodes. So with those, like these are live streams of me making beats. The Padbank podcast, that's more about producer talk, you get me? So we touch on about 3 or 4 topics relevant to producers, a range of different topics, and I've also got some interviews lined up as well with producers. So keep your eye open for that. I'm looking at, doing at least 10 episodes straight. If you're interested, stay with me, man. I'm just trying to provide content for like-minded brothers and sisters like myself, the creatives. So listen, wherever you are, stay safe, stay healthy, stay creative, make the most use of this time we have, this lockdown, quarantine time. I've made more beats than ever during this period. I've been more creative than ever. I've released more music than ever. I'll make it happen, man. I'll take it for granted. So big up yourselves. All the best. God bless. Take care. I'll see you again in another live stream.